You don't care? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we're rolling.
You told
So,
me not to.
um, yeah, I don't know if that'd be a thing for me or not. I don't know.
No,
We'll have to
I
see,
don't
I
know.
guess. But
You know what? If I didn't have kids in school, I'd
yep.
maybe be on that.
What's the bay looking like there?
Bay, as far as I could tell, is froze over.
Okay. I had
Uh,
heard some rumblings about Adrian's making a road this weekend, or
no,
staking a trail to 4 Mile Bay.
I don't think so. I haven't
Okay.
heard that. I can't verify that. I can text Brian
I
right
guess
now. He'll get back to me.
I'm not
Um,
sure
I
where.
don't. I don't. I right now would say no. Just simply because the way I know we always err on the side of caution.
Yep.
But I'll shoot him a text. He'll get back to me.
I can't remember where I had heard that from. I wonder. I can't remember where I heard it from, but I thought I had heard something about that. But yeah, it's. I'm pretty confident I could go take the wheeler out here, and I'll probably go out and check it up here this week. I'll have to run home and get my wheeler, and I didn't even bring a spot bar. I didn't really even plan on going out, I guess, but I guess we'll see what it looks like. But how many days has it been since the bay's been froze over, do you know about?
This morning. Yesterday I could still see steam coming off of it. So this morning,
Oh, so it's okay. Okay.
yeah.
Maybe that
So
was an old.
I just text Brian who I work with, and um if I had to guess, I'd say not this weekend by any means.
Okay. So maybe that was an old post that I saw or something. I can't remember where the hell I saw it,
Hmm.
but I know Red Lake, it sounds like Thursday or something they're going to
I don't
start.
know. I think I seen Sunny Brook or Sunny Beach access tomorrow morning is what I seen today when I was in my tree stand digging on my phone.
Okay. So they must have a good 4 or 5 inches out that
They
way
were talking five,
then.
you
Okay.
know. I know I looked at I have West Wind on there too, and they're gonna hold off till at least the weekend is the way they looked to me when I was digging around on my phone.
Doesn't look like any big winds in the forecast or anything.
Now some south winds, and that's gonna help us here. Like I said, I was out with my spotting scope this morning, and I could not see open water. I know it's there. I got Brian right here. Let me take this. Hey, Brian.
So I guess we'll
Oh,
find out
just
about Adrian's here
a
shortly.
couple
But
questions. Heard there might be trail stake. Just squash that, obviously. That's what I figured. Okay. No, I'm on a live stream right now, so I'm just trying to give the right information. So anything you want me to say? That's kind of exactly. All right. All right. I'll give you a call in a little bit. Bye. Yeah, no, there won't be a trail from Adrian's this weekend.
okay. All right. Yeah, like I said, I don't remember where I saw that, but so how was the summer and fall up there?
Summer, actually, when John and I sat back and looked at it in the end, um, we called it pretty good. Okay, pretty good. Fall was a little tougher. Um, I was surprised we didn't find more fish in the river than we did. I mean, it was okay, but I I think because there's a lot of shiners, we have shiners. I mean, we'll have shiners all winter live. It was a very good run. I just think they came late. There wasn't current. It just seems like you got to have that current to make them come.
Hmm.
And there's just water's low. That
Oh,
being said, I had Sarah out. You seen my live stream the other day on Facebook. We were out a week and a half ago, and it was good. I mean, I started in 18 feet of water, and first fish of the day was 23 inches. I'm like, here we go. Second fish of the day was a tulip. I'm like, oh, this is not good. And then I moved out to 20 feet, and we caught some fish, and then it was enough to keep me happy. And then I went to 22 feet. It was the same thing. And then once we hit 26 feet, it was pretty fast. It was, I mean, we probably caught 50 fish in 3 hours, and
okay.
I moved probably 6 times too, just because I was just moving around.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
So my last day on the water was not this past Saturday, but the Saturday prior, and I found a lot of walleyes really, really deep.
Yep.
And
And I was surprised to find them at 26 feet because I started looking at 18,
yep.
because I was like, yeah, this is where we should be. And they weren't. And then 26 feet, that's kind of seemed to where they'd be. Probably a
And I'm
little shallower now, you know?
yep. And I'm talking up here. I was in 35 to 39. I was looking for crappies.
Yep.
And, so I caught my two walleyes and I just left because I mean those fish are going to be dead, so I'm not going to sit there and kill them.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I did find, I found a pretty deep hole on the edge of an island, and it was full of tullibees,
Mm-hmm.
like stacked with them. So I know they spawn in the fall, from what I understand, whatever. But um, so that I had never seen that before. That was kind of
Well,
interesting.
I've never caught a tulip in 18 feet of water before. That blew my mind.
Right, right. So, but I mean, the summer was kind of weird, but I mean, we had a lot of weird weather too, and I think you probably noticed it on that end of the lake too. Early in the year, like on live scope, just tons and tons and tons of bait fish.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen anything like that before. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
no
like
shortage of
anywhere
bait.
you went, you know. So I mean, I wonder how that's going to play into the numbers coming up in the next couple of years.
Well, it's all. I mean, I think it'll be okay. I mean, when you're dealing with that amount of bait fish, you got to remember. I mean, there's a million minnows down there, and you're jigging one.
Right.
You
Yep.
know,
Yep.
but yeah, it's good to see that amount of bait fish. I mean, it was good to see a good shiner run. Like the old timers always told me, and I respect them because I mean they taught me everything I know. They always said the fish are where you leave them
Right.
in the fall when you start your winter, and well, 26 feet of water is where I left them. You
Right.
know,
Mm-hmm.
obviously we're going to try shallower than that when we get going. Because there's always that morning and evening bite that hangs around for a good month early. In that 14 to 12 to 16 feet stuff.
Mm-hmm. You kind of found fish up shallow kind of most of the early winter, all winter most of the early part of the winter last year, didn't you?
Yes, yes. And I like to. Jimmy likes to hammer that shallow stuff, and we offer our shallow deep options. And just, I mean, I grew up fishing with Jim. He works for me. Everybody's met him. He's been on a live stream. Um, he likes that shallow deep, you know, and it's good, it really is.
Do you are you gonna put a house in the bay again this?
Absolutely. The
Yeah.
first house is all set. As soon as I can set one in the bay, I love it.
Right.
Christmas Eve every year in the bay.
Do you remember where were we last year at this time?
Were we fishing right now? I gotta look. I'd have to look back on my phone.
I think we were
We
pretty close.
St. Paul show. I think we started no, I think we started right after we got back from St. Paul. So that would have been like the fourth.
Well, we are behind from last year though. I know
We are.
that.
We are. We are behind, but I don't think we're as behind as everybody thinks we are. You know, like today I was out with a spotting scope and I could not find open water in my spotting scope, but I know it's there.
Yep.
I know it's not locked up yet. We haven't had enough clear weather to have a satellite image today or yesterday. But I think I just I know it's not locked up. We're getting lake effect snow, so
Right. Did you
so,
get any snow today?
yeah, it kind of snowed off and on all day.
Yeah, we got a dusting up here too, late this afternoon, whatever. But
Yeah, yeah.
so, yeah, I think she's going to be pretty good conditions here shortly. I mean, there's no cold weather in the future, but the water temp was hovering. It was in the 30s when I was out on open water the last time, and
It was 34 degrees when I had Sarah out a week and a half ago, and that it's ready. It's ready to go.
So, what are your thoughts on that latest survey on Lake of the Woods?
I talked to Brett, the big lake biologist we have here now, and contrary to everybody's talk and beliefs, and you kind of got to go with what they say sometimes, Cody. Their fall netting, everything was up by quite a bit, actually.
Yep. So the numbers actually have got them here. The historic average is 15.3 for walleyes and 15.2 for saugers. And the September survey average was 21.1 walleyes and 17.5 saugers. So that's up. My math isn't very good, but 6 walleyes and about 2 saugers roughly. So
there's always variables in that. I mean, was it
right?
That place they had their nets and this and that, but historically they put their nets in the same spots every year, as far as I know. And no, I in the saugers, going back to when I had Sarah out fishing, the saugers we got kind of blew my mind away the other day. She's looking at me like, why aren't we keeping that? I'm like, well, we already have like 3 14, 15-inch saugers in the box, and I was throwing 14s back, which is really good.
So I've asked you this question before. I'll ask you again. And would it hurt your feelings to see the limit go down a little bit?
I'm going to give you the same answer I always give you, and I'm going to refrain from comment. Yes and no. I have my thoughts on what we could do with limits, and I've brought it up to DNR people, and they all kind of tell me that that's not possible, and I don't know why it isn't, because if we can have a special regulation for this lake and this lake and this lake, I don't know why we can't do it for Lake of the Woods.
Because there's a special regulation on pike.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. I mean, I'm not.
I don't, not to interrupt you, but I don't know why we can't do a special regulation for Lake of the Woods. I just, I have a limit that I'd like to see, and I don't know if everybody would agree with me on it, but it would work in my mind. It would work, but they're like, no, we can't do that because of this and that, and it would consist of a 2-day possession, and I don't know, they just don't like it. They're tough,
Yeah. Would you be for banning live scope? I know I wouldn't be after owning one.
I wouldn't be.
And
no.
Do you think you catch more fish with live scope? Do you think?
Absolutely.
I don't. Well, yeah, I'm going to say I probably catch a few more fish, but I locate a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really cool. Like I could fish without live scope, it'd be perfectly fine. I don't want to.
You can see how that fish is reacting to that bait. Is the big thing.
Educational. Yep.
And when you can see how that fish is reacting to that bait, sometimes you just need to change it up just a little bit.
Right. Yep. I think that. Because many times, been out in live scope on a pot of fish and you can't get one to bite or something. So it does not make those fish bite, but it does.
No.
I'm not going to lie and say it doesn't improve your odds. It does, but
it does.
it's you know, it's just really fun. It's just really fun. It just
Mhm.
it. I'm gonna say it. It adds a little bit of another level of pleasure to fishing. You
Mhm.
know, and I know for sure. I mean, like this I don't know, it's probably about July, late July, early August. It was out and in some bays and stuff, and just kind of forward scanning as I was going along in my little tiller boat, and I
Mhm.
found a lot of big fish that way. Just out on their own. So I mean, it does it's got its effects, but it's yeah, I wouldn't be for I wouldn't it wouldn't bother me if they banned it in tournaments. I don't fish tournaments. I wouldn't care, but
Mhm. Yeah, same.
I know some guys are pretty mad about it, but
Yep.
there's always going to be somebody's going to be pissed off about something. So
Yep.
whatever, but
How many people we got on?
32, 32. So I hopefully maybe do some lake trout fishing this winter up here, hopefully. And I kind of wonder, they're talking El Nino or La Nina or whatever it is. I kind of wonder if how much ice we're going to get this year.
Yeah, I don't know. We didn't have an overabundance last year either. I mean, the biggest thing is we just don't hope for a significant snowfall before New Year's.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
big
another
thing.
thing. Yep, yep,
I mean, if we can hold off till New Year's before we get that first significant dump, then we'll be okay.
right. Yep,
If we only have 12 inches and we get that first blast, then it gets a little tougher. I mean, we're
right,
going to be fishing, but it gets then it insulates. Everybody knows that.
right. Are you getting booked up pretty good already, or
Yeah, phone's been pretty good. We got some weekends in January, February, or January that are already they're full, and we got actually waiting lists. Our midweeks could they'll fill in for us. February we have availability in February. Um, the week between Christmas and New Year's we have some. It's getting a little limited though. You know,
okay?
um, but yeah, no, it's looking okay.
You gonna do any spearing stuff this winter?
No, we held off on it one more year. John and I talked, but next year we will be spearing.
Or? Okay,
Yep. John and I both talked about it this year, and just with lives and everything going on, um, and time, we've all had just some things going on, and it didn't happen.
so now that you have the work permit and all that stuff for Ontario, are you going to be doing any portable trips up there?
I don't think so. Um, I don't. I think I'm going to leave that mainly for summer.
Okay,
I don't think I have the time to do that. Not that it isn't in the back of my brain. If somebody called and said, "Hey," but I would really have to look at time and weather and flexibility. I
right.
just right now I'd have to say no.
Yeah. Okay.
I just that's a whole different ball
Yep.
game,
Yep.
and our ice season is our busy season. This summer though, I mean, for my first year doing it I was happy, with what I did, and I mean, I kind of got into it late in the game, and it worked out okay. I mean, the trips I did were awesome.
How many trips did you do?
I want to say I probably did close to 20.
Oh, that many. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So
I did a few out of the angle. Went up Sportsman's. They needed a hand. Greg up there, good friend of mine, Sportsman's Lodge. Went up, helped him out a few times up there, and yeah, I mean, it's it's another market, and people that can't necessarily get across the border and don't want to take that hour and a half boat ride to get their transport up there. I mean, we go out the back door in 30 minutes. We're fishing Canada, and it ain't bad. I mean, you gave me a lot of stuff this spring when I was up there with you, and We sat down with your books and maps and looked, and you were giving me spots, and they panned out.
Yep. It's which would you rather fish? You rather fish the south side or up here?
Um, Little torn. I know the north side a little better because I've always done that a little more. I think the south side's probably just as good. My biggest thing down here, and I think I probably got it figured out for next year, is my bait, because bait's a big deal.
Yep.
And you know me, I like my frozen shiners. It's my go-to all day, every day when I jig, and I love jigging. You know, um, I think I got that figured out for next year down here. Up there, it's not a problem. We got Ray King,
Yep.
and we got our minnow dealer. Down here, a little tougher. I don't know why the Canadian resorts down here. I've called all of them that are within 10 minutes of me, and no, we don't sell frozen shiners. I'm like, really? That's what this lake thrives on. They don't do it. They're like, nobody wants them. I'm like, okay. But I think I got a guy. I got a guy right on the river, across the river, that I've been talking to a little bit, and I think he's going to help me out there and get him in. So if I can, boom, grab him, go, that's going to change a lot.
So you didn't fish much with plastic then, huh?
A lot. Everything I did down here was pretty much plastics. You know, it was, and we caught fish. I mean, I'm not. We caught fish. You know, but in the conversations you and I have had in the past, you know me, I'm a frozen
Yep.
shiner.
Yep.
You know,
Yep. Yep.
for sure.
Yeah. I've ever since I've been up here, I've been fishing plastics, and I probably, I mean, I'm gonna say there are certain days when I think bait would probably work better, but most of the time, if those fish are active, I do pretty good. I mean, if you can go out and catch 70, 80 walleyes in a day on plastics, that's pretty good.
Oh, we did it when I was up there with you.
Yeah, yeah, and they're pretty aggressive. That
Yeah, it's good.
I remember we had to work a little bit to find to find them though. It was a little bit tough
My
finding.
best I did on plastics this year wasn't jigging in Canada. It was actually pulling spinners with plastic worms.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
probably that Berkeley power bait with them shorter worms was probably the best. Just working the way on the outside edges of them reefs. I probably did better doing that than I did jigging plastics.
right, right. So um, there's a question here. It says, "Do you have an estimated time on walking out on the Rainy or 4 Mile Bay?"
Well, like I've always said before, and Cody will agree with me, we're not cowboys up here. We always err on the side of caution, and I think walking it'll it could probably go before the 15th, but I'm looking at closer to the 15th for a start date.
Okay.
Honestly, just to
Yeah.
be. I mean, we don't like accidents at all. I mean, at all.
Yep.
We work so close together with every resort up here, and yeah, we just it's okay to wait a couple days.
You got the same crew coming back this year?
We do. We got everybody, same boys back. Nothing's changed.
Okay.
We got Joe, Jim, John on the
Yep.
ice. I mean, nothing. Yeah, everything's back. They're
I
all
talked
off.
to I talked to Joel the other day. I haven't talked to him all,
Tyler's,
all summer. So
yep.
yep.
Tyler's coming back. Joe's a little wounded right now, but he says he's going to be healed up. Yep. We got our same guys. So I
What
can't I can't say enough for my crew in the wintertime. They do it, and they're awesome.
what do you think? What do you think this winter is going to be like?
Far as fishing,
Yeah.
I think early is going to be, from what I seen a week and a half ago, I think early is going to be really good. And then after that, I mean, it's crapshoot. I mean it's mud fishing.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, we chase them hard. I mean, we move hard and we chase them hard. We move mile, 2 miles a week. I think. I mean, even last winter when we looked back on it, when we were all said and done and quit, we didn't look at it as a bad winter. I mean, I don't know. You get all these naysayers sometimes, Cody. That you know what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
You got to move. You got to be on the move. You got to be willing to change your tactics. You can't always do what you did in 1985 anymore.
Right.
You know what I
Well,
mean?
and even last month, I mean, that I catch myself many times this summer going back to the same old, and I'm like, no, I gotta,
Yeah. You gotta think outside the box once in a while.
yep,
And I catch myself doing that too. I mean, you give me. I mean, I open up my tackle box every morning when I get in my boat and I'm gonna go jigging, and the first jig I pull out, it's pink and gold. It every day. That's
yep,
every day. And it seems like in the end, I gravitate back to that pink and gold jig. But there's days where, yeah, something else works, you
yep,
know.
yep. And I
And
think,
I don't have them. I'm going to go grab them because I'm going to show you. Let me 30 seconds, okay?
okay, I think part of the problem too is I did not. There's a lot of days when I should have been fishing shallower this year, and I hadn't. Um, Joe says he predicts a good season this year. I think hopefully you're right. I hope so. Weather is a big factor. Getting around.
So you're going to laugh at me, Cody. Can I speak?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're good.
So this right here was probably the best plastic that I used in Canada this summer.
That's a billy rub, ain't it?
No, it's not. It's from Shields,
Oh.
and it's a 3-inch tail grub, and it's called a parrot. I'll get it up there.
Okay.
And you wouldn't, honestly, I'd put that on anytime. I don't know if it's color or what, but it worked. And
Grubs work
it's a
really
dumb
well.
color. If you look at it, it's like why?
Well, it's maybe a little bit of perch, maybe a little bit of crayfish too, though.
I'd say a lot of perch, but yeah, and it worked. I mean, I sat up there with customers, and I even like when I go to Canada and I'm up north and I have shiners, I purposely fish plastics just to try different things.
Hmm.
You let them fish with shiners, and I had days where that would catch as many.
Yeah,
You know,
grubs work well. I usually use a white grubs.
yeah, I know, and I like white too. White is always good. White or black. I like
Yep.
black. You know,
Yeah, I used to use black once in a while, and then I guess I ran out. I just never bought anymore. But white has always been a really good. That's what I use for crappies a lot. Is those little grubs like that.
yep.
And so, but but I'll tell you, this summer I'm sold on the Kalen's Jerk Minnow Junior.
I know you were texting me that, and I couldn't find any.
Those things were those things worked really well this year. So, but
You got to have Billy Rub with you. I mean, I use it all the time.
I used it a lot early in the year, and then I kind of didn't use it. I didn't really see a big difference, but a winter for sure. Absolutely, because I don't use bait up here in the winter either.
Yeah.
Because
No, I like it. I use it. I'm out of alewife right now, so Fraser, if you're looking right now, I need an order. I got to get a hold of you for winter, but um, I like it. I don't know. it doesn't hurt, you know. And if it doesn't hurt, because you can even see it on the live scope when you put that billy rub on and you stick your jig down there, you can actually see them oils coming off on your live scope. You probably noticed that, Cody.
I haven't. I guess I haven't.
You can see them oils coming off that lure, and you can. I mean, it. I like it. Yeah, and I'm not. I have never been a snake oil guy, but I use it a lot. I do.
So yeah, I bought a bunch. One thing that I did use though, actually, was I was doing some drop shotting this summer with what are they called? The Northland Impulse leeches, and used Billy Rub leech on that, and that worked really, really well. So
Probably one of my favorite plastics is a leech because it mimics a leech so good.
right,
You
right.
know,
Yep.
it does. But
And that,
my leech bite this summer was really off. It wasn't like a normal leech bite to me. You know,
well,
I never got into. Sometimes you get into that 2 weeks of just that's all they want's a leech and a leech and a leech. Never really hit that this year. I mean, we caught some fish, and I'll always put a leech on if I want to catch one fish a day, and I want it to be that fish. I fish with a leech because they might catch you less fish, but your quality is going to be there.
well, you caught quite a few big walleyes this year too, didn't you?
We did. It was a good year for big ones. Yep. Yep.
So,
I think 32 was the biggest one I boated this summer, and that was a big draw.
was that early in the year or later?
It was early. Yep. It was in June. Yep. And like our sturgeon, I mean, I broke my record. I mean, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to 72 inches. You know,
Oh, sturgeon. Yep.
you know, I didn't catch it. I mean, I was guiding, but yeah, a gal caught it, a firefighter. She's a firefighter out of St. Cloud, and yeah, biggest sturgeon I ever put in my boat. I was so stoked. It was awesome.
Huh.
That's huge. I mean, that's biggest for me.
That'd be 90 pounds or more, huh?
I was guessing it right around 100, just by lifting it. You know, it was skinnier. It wasn't like big fat, you know, tank. It was skinnier than most, but I'd still put it at right around 100.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
know?
that's big.
Oh yeah, it was fun. It was fun. We caught 3 sturgeon that day, 2 little ones, and then that one came at the end of the day. It was gas.
Huh. You guys don't really run into a whole lot of sturgeons in the winter, do you?
No, here and there. You get your accidental one out on the lake. There's a few guys that target them in the wintertime, and I've always wanted to try it, but to do that, you got to be ultra patient and understand that you might not get a bite. But that one bite you get
Is big, yeah.
is going to be fun.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And a lot of guys are just not that patient to wait around for that.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
Because it's a night thing. And I don't know why it is, but it seems like in the wintertime, well, sturgeon always will hit at night, but in the wintertime, it seems like more of a night thing. You know?
Yep. So, yeah, I can't remember. Did I go? Yeah, I went sturgeon fishing, I think, twice this year. Trying to remember. And then I was walleye fishing with Joe, and we ended up catching he ended up catching a big sturgeon that we had to follow around for about a half hour before we finally got him boated. But I was just trying to think if can't even remember this spring. He must be getting old or something. Memory's going. It was spent a lot of time on the water this summer though. A lot of lots. Yep.
It's good.
Did a lot of a lot of new stuff this year, and there were some days when I was scratching my head and could not find them, but it's I don't know. But then some days it was just absolutely lights out, and it seemed like where you found one fish, you found many, and then if you didn't find any, I mean, you'd had to really, it's like they were grouped up, you know.
Mhm.
So
I mean, I had days up north in Ontario this summer guiding up there. I mean, there was literally days where the only reason I moved is because we were gonna go have lunch. There's no reason to move,
right, yep,
you know. And perch, I love perch. I mean, we caught a lot of perch this summer.
yeah. Perch was pretty good this year. We actually, me and a friend of mine were out. That was late September, early October, and we actually found schools of perch up here, which
Mm-hmm.
not super. I suppose it's common, but I've
It's
never
hard because they're moving so much.
and we'd catch one or two, and they were tight, like on the scope. You could just see them
Yep.
like in a ball, and you'd catch two or three, and then you'd have to search and try to find them again to get back on them.
Yep.
Um, got a question I'll let you answer, Marshall.
Question for all. Do you all mind the rules like one pole and other restrictions, or you do see them as good measure of conservation? So my theory on the amount of rods you can fish with, a lot of people might disagree with me, but I if there's a 6 fish limit, you should be able to have 6 rods out, in my theory. You know, um what's the difference? You know, one pole, 2 pole, 3 poles, limit's a limit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way I look at it. I don't know how you see it, Cody, but
It
uh,
doesn't really matter to me. If you could fish with two, I probably would still fish with one because I have enough
well,
headaches.
yeah, and at a guide standpoint, fishing with one pole is easier. But if you got a 6 fish limit and you're fishing with 2 poles, what's the difference? I
Right,
don't
right.
understand it. I've never understood that. I've never understood that with the Minnesota DNR. I have not. You know, um, yeah, I can see their reasoning on it to a certain point. And I'm not saying have 10 poles out, but I mean 2 lines. I you know I don't see an issue with it.
Yeah, I guess I never really thought about it, but the way I fish, I would only fish one because
Well, I call it research and development on that second rod. It's a dead stick.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
that's true. That's true. Um,
you
there
know, you
are,
guys got something a little different there. You got a half a crawler dangling off on a slip bobber or something over there, and let it float away on top of a reef or something.
yeah,
I don't. That's where I disagree with the DNR on that one.
yeah. It really doesn't it doesn't bother me either way. I
Yeah.
guess I don't care. I guess it doesn't matter to me. And a lot of times in the winter, I'm only fishing one line because I'm hole hopping anyway. So it
Mhm.
doesn't matter to me really. Um,
When it's good, you only need one line.
aren't there a couple spots in Minnesota where it is two lines though, like on a couple rivers or something, isn't it? Or
That I have no idea.
I can't.
The only place I would think that would come into play is the border water, like maybe the Red River, or you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And I don't know those regulations, so I can't even verify anything on that.
I was thinking it was on the Mississippi maybe,
I
but
don't. I
I
can't
don't
even
know.
comment on that because I don't know. You
So,
know.
anything else new up there?
No, we're working on houses, and we've done a pile of updates on houses again, and we'll be down in St. Paul this week and Duluth the following. And yeah, if everybody wants to come out and visit, we're good.
Has the Fargo show already been?
Fargo show got canceled this year.
Oh, it did really.
It did. Um, I don't know if I should comment about this or not, but we're open and um, Shields kind of, and I'm a Shields lover. I love Shields. Don't get me wrong. If it ain't Reeds, it's Shields to me because I'm not a big Cabela's fan. Okay,
Mhm.
or Bass Pro, but Shields kind of pushed the Fargo show
Oh, really?
out of town. Yeah,
Okay.
they didn't like from the first year they were there. I hope I don't upset anybody on this one, but from the first year they were there, they didn't like the other big vendors coming in as far as
Oh,
breeds and everything else. And
okay.
um, yeah, and that's all I'm gonna go there with that. I mean, they Shields pushed the Fargo Ice show all the time.
I'll be darned. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and they're looking. I'm good friends with Mike Olson and with Fish Addictions, and I'm sure everybody on here knows them, knows the name. Um, he we're trying to get it to a different venue, and it won't be in Fargo.
Okay. Any Grand Forks or
No, I don't think it'd be Grand Forks. That's too small.
okay.
Um, and I don't want to say a name of a town because people will say, "Oh, Marshall said this," but
Yeah,
we're
right.
looking at a different venue. They are. I'm not. I'm no part of it. I just have I just go there.
Yep.
They're looking at a different venue.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you ever been to the Winnipeg Ice Show?
I have not been to the Winnipeg Ice Show for the reason I don't think it would benefit me.
Yeah, your business, right? Yep.
Yeah. I just they're not looking to come here, so I just haven't gone there.
Yep.
St. Paul is awesome. You see a lot of people, visit with a lot of people. It's fun. It's just, have you been there, Cody?
I know I haven't.
Oh, it's so much fun. I mean, there's so much there, and it's a lot of fun. It is, and I've never done Duluth. Um, this will be our first year in Duluth. The only reason we're going to Duluth is because Fargo got canceled. You
Okay.
know, so that's going to be a new thing for us.
Yeah, I did not know that Fargo got canceled. I guess I don't pay attention to the
Fargo
ice.
got Fargo got canceled, and Shields did their own ice show this year. And
Okay.
I don't know. I don't even know how it went. I got invited. I didn't go. Out of respect for the Fargo ice show, I didn't go to it.
Okay.
You know.
Hmm. Oh well, I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't Dan, I sure don't have any I don't have any desire to go to the cities, I guess. But I don't have any desire to go to the ice show either. It's just a bunch of people and I'm not really a big people person and I
Yeah. The cities is the cities, but the St. Paul ice show is pretty cool. Actually, it really is. I mean, there's so much there, and it's more than an ice show, and it's really pretty cool to go to.
maybe
I
one
was
year I'll
I was in awe the first time we did it.
How many years you been going there?
This will be our third year.
Okay. Does it drum up quite a bit of business?
Um, yeah, but I don't look at going to an ice show to drum business. Um, I like to visit with my past customers. I mean, we're small business, we're family owned, and I like to just to go have that conversation with your customers before they come up with you and this and that. It's just fun.
Yep.
It really is. And it's more of a, I don't know how you say it, PR, but I mean you get new business from it, but it's good to just talk to your customers. I mean, they got their trip, but they're going to book their trip when they're there, and you get to talk to them, and they want to see you, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
I've found just in regards to Joe's comment there,
What did Joe say? I mean,
he said that I wouldn't come down and fish smallmouth with him. I'm an angle snob, and I think that honestly, I just other than Lake Superior, I just really don't have any desire to go fish anywhere else after being up here. I just love it
I'll tell
here.
you what, smallies in Canada. I had so many good days in Ontario this spring. After I left you and I came back down here and we went out the back door. I call it the back door, out and take a right,
You
and
you
it was
yep.
so good.
Yeah, you've
I
got
mean,
some really good smallmouth water over there.
oh, it was so much fun. I mean, we were doing 50, 60, 70 smallies a day. I
Yep.
mean, I literally had customers looking at me like I I'm done casting.
Yep.
And that's how I caught my one and only muskie this summer is because the guys I had on the boat, they're like, we're done. We're done. Can we do something else? And I'm like, you want to throw for muskies? And they're like, not really. Can we just sit back and smoke cigars? And I'm like, sure. Do you mind if I go throw for a muskie? Well, third cast.
Really?
Yeah, it was awesome.
So did they want to fish after that then or no?
No, they were older guys from Iowa, and they were having a blast. I mean, it was just fun. I mean, it's so much fun having customers out there that just want the experience. They're you see 100 pelicans a day and 400 geese a day, and you might see a bear coming across the bay, and it's not always about the fishing. It's you go see Painted Rock, or you go see the rope swings, or you go do this and that. It's it's about the experience.
Right. Yep. What was
What's my
your
biggest folly this year? 19. I have not broke that 20-inch mark, and I want to. I had two 20-inchers on the boat this summer, and I did not catch them. And as soon as I get my 20, it will be on the wall.
I had my cousin Jake up here late this summer, and he caught a 19 and a half.
Mm-hmm.
That thing was a tank. That's the
Yep.
biggest one I've seen come out of Lake in the Woods myself.
A
But
lot of 18s, a lot of 19s. And honestly, when we talk about Canadian smallmouth fishing, I had some trips this summer where we were done with our walleyes and we couldn't go to Canada for certain reasons and whatnot. We just went and played for smallies in the U.S. and there's a lot of good smallmouth fishing in the
yeah,
Angle, not even in the Angle. I mean, in the Rainy River, and yeah, there's a lot of good smallmouth fishing right in Minnesota.
yep, yeah, I'd say Mille Lacs is a pretty good place for big tankers for sure.
Yep, and
So
Joe's good.
yep, yep. I do apologize, Joe. I kind of uh, have been a little tight with the budget this year too. Got a plan. I'm getting stuff paid for, so I try not to spend any extra cash too. So that kind of kept me close to home. But since I can drive up here again now, it's just like, gosh, I just don't want to. I'd come up here for 6 7 days and I'd fish 3 of them. I was kind of working around the house and getting things ready for building a shop. And
You got a beautiful place up there too. Cody had
yeah,
it this spring, and it's awesome.
I got some work to do, but
Yeah,
it's going to be nice when I get this shop built. That's going to be nice.
yeah.
So hopefully in 3 to 4 years I'll have it up and have it up and going, getting sliding into retirement here. So, but
You're younger than I am.
I don't know. Am I
Mm-hmm.
a couple of years?
I think a few.
Okay, but yeah, it's I don't want to do my job any longer than I have to.
I'm not looking for it yet. I enjoy it. I enjoy the people. I just love it. I love what I do.
Yep,
I'm not even looking forward to it yet.
yep.
How can you retire from a job you love?
Yeah, 10 years ago, I probably, I wouldn't even be thinking about retirement. But now, like, the second I can go, I'm done.
Yeah.
and I will not shed one
But
tear either.
and I know what you do, and yeah, I understand. You know,
But so what are you have you got anybody in the motel lately, or is it pretty?
we're quiet right now because we're in that middle of we're waiting. You know, we had quite a few deer hunters in this fall, actually, for deer hunting's sake, busier than normal, and for our hunters we had in here, sounded like a very good deer season. Now, me myself personally, I wouldn't call it the greatest deer season on the planet. Um, I got a doe with my bow. My daughter shot a deer with her rifle. I'm chasing a nice buck right now. I was out tonight in the stand. He was there. He 50 yards, and I'm stubborn. I don't want to shoot him with my muzzle loader. I want to hit him with an arrow. And he's a good deer, and I got him on camera, and I've seen him. And you know what? If I don't get him, he made it this long. He'll be that much bigger next year.
Right.
I'm okay with that. I've seen him a few times. You know.
Did you do you know anything about the duck hunting this year up there? Had you heard anything?
Slow. They didn't come till the last frickin' minute. It was so warm, and when they really moved, season was closed.
Yep. Yep.
It seemed like last weekend actually was the big push, and it's done. You know,
Yep. Yep. Went
we
fast.
seen a pile last weekend.
Yep.
What was
So,
that question? I didn't get to read it.
oh, that was Joe just saying, or where was it? He schooled me on the river. I fished with Joe this spring on the river, and
Mhm.
I really had fun. That was a really good time. we he was on fish, and it was just caught some nice ones, and that was just a lot of fun. Joe is a lot of fun to hang around with, a lot of fun to fish with, and I really like Joe. So
The river's fun. The river's tricky. You got to know how to do it. And
yeah,
if you've never done it, a guide's not. I'm not just trying to push Joe and myself, but if you've never done it, call a guide
yep,
and do it once with them, because the rivers, it's tricky.
yep,
It's not just go out there and throw your jig out. You
yep,
know,
yep. That's for sure.
you got currents and everything else, and yeah.
Yep, yep. Uh, no, Jim says he's been retired, semi-retired for 3 years and fished less than ever. But yeah, so well, I don't know. What you got? You got anything else?
No. Looking to get going in a couple weeks here. If anybody's going down to the St. Paul, stop in, visit, whatnot. Cody's been down to a show or two with me and just haven't worked out for the last year or so, his schedule and mine. And, you know, maybe it'll work out again sometime. And
Yeah, I
it's
think I
always
went to
fun to work with you, you
I
know.
think I went to the Fargo one with you.
You
What,
did.
2 weeks
You
ago?
did. It was fun, and it was a good time.
So
Always fun to see people at the shows. It's just, even if you just questions, and it's past customers, and it's just fun. I mean, it's relationships, and we're small and we're family owned, and that's the way it's always going to be here. You know, your customers become your friends. They really do. You know, it's not just about a customer and a trip this day and this and that. I mean, I enjoy taking my customers fishing, and all my guides do too.
so you're thinking about hopefully getting going on the 15th is what you're
Well, I'm guessing Mother Nature, Cody.
right.
Um, but I'm hoping for a 15th. You know, somewhere in there. There could be some walking out before then. But I'm hoping for that 15th range. You
Okay.
know.
Yeah, we'll have to keep in touch here and if it works out, maybe I can sneak over there when you start getting out. I think I've done that the last 3 years now. So
You have, and you caught some fish.
um, try and get on some. But I think I'm probably going to go home and get my 4-wheeler. I don't know if I should go get my wheeler or if I should get my sled. I don't know. Which there's not a lot of snow to speak of, but
Wheeler.
But
Take your wheeler. Trent, I know you're on here. Ask a question. No, you ain't gonna ask a question.
might take a minute.
I've had 2 or 3 calls tonight, and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna watch you tonight."
Okay. See if they're still here.
Yeah.
Do you offer muskie trips then?
I will do it. I'm not even gonna lie to anybody. If you want to go muskie fishing, we'll go muskie fishing. I'm not gonna oversell myself as being a muskie guide by any means. I'll do it. You know, I'd love to get into it a little more. I could give you names of 10 muskie guides that are better than me, and I'm not even gonna lie about that because I don't want to upset people by any means. You know what I mean? You know where I'm coming from, Cody.
Yep.
We'll go. I'll take somebody muskie fishing, and we did some muskies this year, and I think this summer I probably did a handful of trips, and I think we ended up with I don't know 4 or 5 muskies and a few follows, but that's in 5 trips, which I don't think that's that bad of a a record either.
Right.
It's just not my forte, but I'm looking farther into it.
Yep.
How to say
it's different for sure.
It's different. It's a lot of fun. It's addicting. It's terribly addicting. That's the problem.
And terribly expensive.
Oh yeah, but it's so much fun. I mean, I love it. I love just throwing and throw. Because you go out there every day and you're throwing for muskies, and I got a good person that stays with me here in the summertime, and he's taught me a lot about muskies, and he's always told me you don't need the cowgirl, and you don't need Medusa, and you don't need, he goes, take a number 5 MEPS spinner and throw it all day long, and it will catch everything. It's going to catch you a walleye, it's going to catch you a smallmouth, and it will catch you a northern, and it will catch you a muskie.
I would have to agree.
And I took his word for that. And granted, I throw big stuff too if I know they're there. If I get a follow, I'll start throwing big stuff. But my muskies this summer have come on like a number 5, number 7, MEPS, and it works, and it catches everything.
Rip and wraps work pretty good too.
Yep. I'm not a big rip and wrap guy. You know that. I've fished with you. I love my MEPS spinners. I do. I really do. And I don't know why. I think that's because of what Dad did and what Grandpa did. And,
yep.
And I'll say if there's a point in my fishing where I'm very old school, it's probably right there.
Hey, we got to say happy birthday to
Dylan.
So happy birthday, Dylan. Donald's going to tiptoe out Thursday local. Can't wait for ice on Lake of the Woods. Yeah, a friend of mine down in the metro said he walked out today. So I don't know, if I don't know what it's like down there, but all I'm going to say is I hope that ice fishing this year is better than the Vikings played last night.
Oh, that and the Wild and everything else.
So Matt is about 5 hours from me, Daniel. So, well, what do you think? We got everything out that we wanted to talk about?
I think so.
right on an hour, so that is good enough for me.
Mhm.
I finished getting some stuff put together, trying to get some of my ice stuff down, and I worked out today. I was cutting brush again, and before Richard Allen from Young's Bay came over with his brush mower and finished mowing off my. That was really fun to watch. Um, Bobcat with the big brush mower going around. That was pretty fun. So you won't recognize the place when you come up here next time.
Well, I'm looking forward to coming back. It was a fun trip. I really want to come back and do it again.
All right, guys. Well, appreciate you checking it out, and we'll probably do a live stream again maybe in 2 weeks. See where we're at.
We'll be real close. We'll be starting, or if we're not, we're going to be really close.
Yeah, I think it'll be I think we'll be pretty close to it, and hopefully we get some consistent weather and it doesn't we don't get any stupid winds and big snowstorms or something. That would really suck right about now.
Yeah, the forecast for the next 10, there's a little bit of snow here and there, but they're not talking anything big.
Yeah.
Winds, they're talking, obviously, we're warming up, so it's southerly, which shouldn't hurt us too bad unless something breaks away. But yeah, our biggest fear is that big north one, right now.
Yep. Northwest. Yep. And we've
Yep.
already had one.
Yeah.
So, but all right, we'll catch you guys later. Appreciate you coming.
Thank you.